The following presentation is brought to you by the Hatboro-Horsham Television Network.
Well, we are back here live at Hatter Stadium for soccer under a beautiful fall night. And the Hatters, the last 3 games, 2 ties, 2-1 loss, 2-1 loss to North Penn. Coming into this one tonight against the Indians of Souderton. Souderton, last game, they went down to the 7-0 CB East team, and joining us here in the booth, as always, Bill Rowland, myself, Mr. Thomas, and a whole crew of HHTV faithful, and joining us all night long for about a 2-hour broadcast here live from Hatter Stadium. So, again, storylines is Souderton, really good squad, but they're down 2 injuries, Bill. That is the key for Souderton tonight. They have both their captains out. One captain out with injury, the other one, another sickness of some kind. And you said, talked to the coach a little bit before, and you said a pretty decent injury, actually, keeping one of those captains out, right? Metatarsal, you said?
Yeah, fractured metatarsal. Unfortunately, that's one of those injuries, you see it all the time in the NFL. They're out 6 to 8 weeks. And that's the end of the season for the senior. Unfortunately, he's ending on a low note with the injury. And we hope that the other captain, he can come back from that illness, with all those bugs going around. Hopefully he can rebound.
Something's always coming in. Fall just hit. It is the first official night of fall. But, again, just to talk about some of those key points tonight. Hatters were the 1-4-2 record, and the last 3 games they've been able to come up with an interesting record, 0-1-2. Those 2 ties really what you want to look at, because it is showing some of that growth that you're seeing on behalf of the Hatters. The most recent one, again, coming to North Penn. North Penn, one of the top teams in this division, and they were able to lose only 2-1 to them, so they kept it close with the North Penn Knights all game long. So looking to see what it's going to be. Souderton with 2 captains out tonight, and then on top of that, the Hatters coming at just about full strength. So the Souderton players are being introduced right now, and you see them on your screen. We'll be checking our lineup to make sure that our starters match those starters. When we get to the Hatter starters, we'll take a break so you can hear our PA announcer, Mr. Dennis Steinley, giving us the field announcement of our starters here tonight for the Hatters. Some other key points to watch for, though, is the absolute you see from the Hatboro-Horsham Hatters. A lot of seniors on this roster. There are some younger guys mixed in, of course, but for the most part, Kyle McGrath here with the helm of the Hatters really able to get a lot of seniors. And, in his 6th season, Bill, that's a dream. 6 seasons strong as coach, and these seniors now have come up for 4 years with Kyle. All through high school, they've had the same coach. That kind of consistency is really what you're looking for as far as a program goes. Yeah,
throughout any sport, it's always important because you get to know the coaches over the years. You get to know where they expect you to play, and you always want to play that one step higher. And as you get to know the coach, you get to understand where they're coming from, where their perspective is.
That philosophy, too, and also you get that training there. So let's go to the Hatter starters now. We'll take a look at the screen, and you'll see them coming on your screen momentarily as we get our end zone camera now with a beautiful sky, fall sky in the background. At goalkeeper for the Hatters will be Stephen Donnie. Your defenders are Justin Palushek, Corey Maluski, Alex Hoffman, Sean Thomas, and mid are going to be the Dante D'Alonso, Colin Bateman, Tom McElrath, Kevin Smith, and then wrapping us up with the forward is going to be Eduardo Romero and Kyle Nemeth. And you do, again, looking at that lineup, you're seeing a lot of upperclassmen, a lot of juniors and seniors right there. Let's go to the field right now. We'll get the introductions of our starters from Mr. Dennis Steinley.
Number 9, freshman midfielder Colin Bateman. Junior defender number 13, Alex Hoffman. Senior forward number 12, Kyle Nemeth. Senior forward number 9, Justin Paluzek. Senior midfielder, number 5, Tom McElrath. Senior defender, number 2, Corey Molesky. Junior forward, number 10, Eduardo Romero. Junior midfielder, number 11, Kevin Smith. Sophomore defender, number 14, Sean Thomas. Goalkeeper for the Hatters, sophomore, Stephen Doney. Hatters are coached by Mr. Kyle McGrath, assisted by Pete Williams and Mark Gavanizio. At this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Back here live from the booth high above Hatters Stadium, and we're just about set to get underway tonight. And so sophomore goalkeeper in goal for the Hatters tonight is going to give a chance to get these Souderton starters from going and scoring tonight. But here they are on your screen right now. And defender Ryan Kramer at mid. I'm going to say Justin Molyneux. It's a little French going on there. So DJ Rostron is in there, defender as well. Forward, Tyler Strzeski. At mid, Danny Sullivan. Defender again, Chad Ziegler. Goalkeeper in goal tonight for the Indians is going to be Kevin Dustin. At forward, John O'Keefe. And mids, Nate Verso, Nick Marculo, and Dylan. Go ahead, say it again.
Molyneux.
Yes, the Molyneux brothers are well represented for the Indians tonight. So we're just about ready to start here from center field tonight for Hatboro-Horsham and Souderton. So, Bill, what are you thinking here going into this one as we kick this one off? Do you think that the two captains out for Souderton gives an advantage to Hatboro-Horsham, or just kind of neutralizes the attack of the Indians, who, of course, come into this one with a 4-2-1 record in third place in our division?
You know, talking to the coach earlier, it doesn't really seem like they're that fazed by having two seniors down. This is primarily an older team. They're more physical. They play a lot more, and I guess you could say kind of the injuries, it shows how hard of a team they really are, because they're playing enough. They're showing the experience. But unfortunately, anytime when you have a player out who's out for an extended period of time, it does hurt the team. But coming here both nights, teams, I should say,
right,
they're talking to both coaches. Both coaches say they're good teams. Hatboro-Horsham, they're a very good team. They just haven't applied themselves enough where they can get the win as we start off the first half of play here.
All right, we're underway. And already kicked deep already. So trying to maintain control quickly here. And Hatboro-Horsham is going to start this one off back into a corner kick.
PIAA PIAA Suburban 1 soccer is played with two 40-minute halves. For those who are unfamiliar, such as MLS, the Philadelphia Union play two 45-minute halves. We play two 40-minute halves here in PIAA
Yeah,
soccer.
still plenty of playing time, too. And the one thing that people, if they're not watching soccer a lot, get used to is that extra time built in when the refs are keeping their own time. And you might see the clock actually wind down, and we'll say that there's no time, but then they're still playing. That's going to be on-field time as well. So we'll keep you abreast of all that tonight. As Souderton loses a chance deep in goal territory, and then Hatboro-Horsham trying to maintain control. Need a pair of binoculars tonight to see who's down there, Bill.
Yeah,
the numbers are hard to make out.
Both teams, especially wearing white and red, it kind of blends in a little bit. Souderton's a little bit easier as possession goes over back to Souderton. Souderton's trying to make a run for it. Souderton already, Hatters took, even though it's still early, Hatters just had a minute and 10 seconds for possession, you know.
Very fast-paced game going on so far, too. You've already seen both sides of the field represented twice. The ball's been back and forth quickly a lot already. As Souderton throws this one in, tries to make a play for the goal, and Hatboro-Horsham able to save that one. So Donnie with the first save of the night for Hatboro-Horsham. We've got to clear this one out. Right into the middle. Picked up by Eduardo Romero, and Romero gets it back out.
You know, Stephen Doney in goal, going back, I've done it many years, you know, he was telling me the other day, like, he likes playing in goal, but one of the things that he does is that throughout the period of time that he is in goal, he's got to focus because Hatboro-Horsham wearing white jerseys, of course, it's kind of difficult to pick up the ball at some points, especially, you know, under the lights, it gets just a little bit tougher. Looking now, you kind of get the ball confused with the shin guards, and here, since this is a multi-purpose field, the yellow outline...
Lines everywhere, sure.
The yellow outline is where we will be playing soccer. Orange is going to be field hockey, and everybody knows the football end zones.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines going on out there. All right, so Hatboro-Horsham not able to keep tempo there, and sorry, Souderton not able, and Hatboro-Horsham is going to get a chance to attack. Souderton picks it up. Not a lot of passing lanes so far, and Souderton now with the control. And a play over to the corner, but 16 is going to be outraced by our number 9. It's going to be Paluzik. And shot on goal. So Souderton, just like that, makes quick work of it. And if I'm reading it right, it looks like that's going to be number 10. It was Jack O'Leary on that one. So Souderton goes up by 1 with just about 4 minutes off the clock.
Looking already, both teams have had little over a minute and a half possession. Souderton obviously getting on top early as it is 1-0. So, looking early, Souderton, standings-wise, they're up there in the standings. They are an average team, but they can play and they can put up goals, which is probably the most important part.
Well, the other thing, too, I mean, you know, it seems that we already have our question answered about captains, because I guess the reason they are 4-2-1 coming in this one is because they have such depth in their lineup, and 2 captains out doesn't seem to matter. They were able to score relatively quickly at the start of play here.
Yeah, that last possession just on goal.
Goal scored by number 10, Danny Sullivan.
That goal by Souderton, they had the ball for about 1 minute 6 seconds. So, not really what you consider dominating, but both teams, you know, they're playing a fast-paced offense already. Nobody's really hogging the ball. Everybody's going around, and they're just trying to score and get ahead early because Souderton defense, if they get a good lead, you know, their defense is strong enough where they can put enough pressure on the offense where they can just shut them down.
So Hatters make yeah, you're right, Bill. And the Hatters make a play on it, but there's absolutely nobody back there yet. So it's just going to be a clearing by Souderton now, and they were able to set up their plays and get their guys in lanes. So just about 5 minutes off the clock here in the first period. And Hatboro-Horsham with a little bit of a break, but no help back there. And that's Kyle Nemeth back there by himself for the Hatters, and just nobody to play with back there by the goal.
Yeah, Hatboro-Horsham primarily being an older team, you know, you only see one freshman in the starting lineup, and that's number 9, Colin Bateman.
So the Hatters will get another crack at it, see if they can set up some lanes, and the pass is deep to number 11 for the Hatters, and that'd be Kevin Smith, but Kevin gets buried back in the corner and can't make anything out of that one. So looking for opportunities here, trying to send the ball deep, looking for some extra play, and Hatboro-Horsham will get a throw in here. So if they can set something up close to the goal. Going for the header, and gets clogged in traffic, and Souderton able to clear that one right out. But Nemeth was trying to make a move on that one, and he was coming in for it, but Souderton able to get a quick boot on the way out and clear it. And now it's way back in Hatters territory.
Yeah, looking at that last possession, which was primarily key. There was about 2 minutes there where it was mainly dominated by Souderton.
Yeah.
Although Hatboro-Horsham did get in, they really didn't have enough control where you could say, oh, this is possession where they made a pass.
Right. Bill's had he has his own clock up here too, so he's able to keep good track of how much of that time of possession is really going on. And so far, Souderton steering the ship of time of possession. Hatboro-Horsham making a couple passes here and trying to set up some lanes, but again, no one really deep yet. And Romero not able to make anything happen on that one, and the ball is out. So another throw in. And just not a lot of movement away from the ball, Bill. That's one thing that I've talked with other coaches, and I said, what do I when I'm doing soccer games, what do I look for? And they said ball movement away, movement away from the ball. That's the key, and just not seeing a lot of guys standing around waiting and reacting rather than anticipating and making lanes for their guys to make plays.
Soccer, along with football, is a game of adjustments.
Yeah.
You look at the first half, you see where your mistakes are. You come back, and instead of letting teams run all over you those mistakes, you got to see where your mistakes are, and you got to correct those mistakes. Soccer is crucial because you can see just where everybody is, where you gave up your goals, and you can look and you can remember, oh, I gave up a goal here. This is where my weakness is, and you can work on that in practice.
Good scrappy play tonight too. You see the guys really going for the ball, looking for that intensity tonight, but. So far, all Souderton, just 1-0, but ball control also going to the Indians as well.
Yeah, that last possession, mainly by the Hatters, they only had it for about 1 minute and 38 seconds. So far, averaging just over 3 minutes.
So official stopping play because in the middle of our field right now, number 11, Kevin Smith, is limping off the field right around midcourt. So, trainer Steve Lipinski checking out Kevin Smith right now. So there's a stoppage of time, and the Hatters will look to bring in a sub. And looks to be number 4, Chandler Ryan, coming into the game at forward for the Hatters. So early and already one starter down for the Hatters. We'll see how Kevin Smith fares as we continue to watch. But it looks like definitely was hurting as he limped off the sidelines.
It looks like he was holding that left side. Not sure.
Yeah, kind of like a hip, looked like.
Kind of holding it back, maybe, kind of move the wrong way, but, soccer, it is a little bit of a chillier night. It's not like last week, where you could play a game, it would be 73, 74 degrees.
Right.
It's going to be a little chillier, so players, could take them a while to get just a little bit more loose, but otherwise, injuries have been a problem for both teams.
And Chandler Ryan just into the game looking impressive there on the defensive side of the ball, but able to clear it. Souderton gets that lane blocked, and they get the ball right back. So the Hatters trying to converge, and nice defensive play by the Hatters, and let's see if they can get it out of trouble. And nope, Souderton's right there to block the pass.
As I was saying earlier, Souderton defense, they're right there, and they're aggressively playing the ball.
They're filling lanes. They're blocking passes. They're right there where the Hatters are trying to put it to escape the attack. But you're right now. I mean, Souderton definitely in control of this one.
Yeah, looking at the players on the field, Souderton looks like they have about maybe 1, 2, possibly 3-inch height advantage, and a lot of it's because they have older players. Older players, you say, no, older players, they know what they're doing more, but Hatboro-Horsham, they have older players too. The problem is they're just not playing to where they want to play.
Souderton really spreading it out right now too, kind of just playing their game and then playing a little bit keep away, waiting for their play, and they get it in right now. Another score. Yep. The attack is made, and the score is made. Goal, Souderton. We'll get a number as soon as he turns around. But again, Souderton goes in. It looks like number 12. Or it could be number 10 again. It could be... we'll look for that one. If it was 10, it was Danny Sullivan again, and that's who we have on our hero camera right now. But, at midfield, Danny Sullivan, a senior, that's his second goal of the night already, and exactly where he's supposed to be to make that play, and really no one else there to contest him except for the goalkeeper who is supposed to be there anyway. So Hatboro-Horsham down 2-0 now.
looking where both goals have been scored, they've been scored on the outside of the rectangle, as most people call it. And, they've been pretty close to each other. Mapping it on my shot counter, it's been pretty cool. Maybe 3-4 feet away, but they're exploiting, and the ball is traveling to the right side of the goals. That ball would be good if it was a field goal.
Almost another goal, though. It just, floated above the net, but again, they're getting shots on goal. Hatboro-Horsham has to turn up the pressure and try to stop that thing before they can get a shot off.
So far, Hatboro-Horsham hasn't even been able to scrounge across one shot.
No, and they've barely been down in goal-scoring territory either. So, Souderton really in control of this one and playing almost like a midfield game at this point.
Yeah, 2-0 already, and Souderton, they're 2 for 5. That's pretty good, considering, the average soccer score, 3-1, 2-0.
Yeah, early 2-0.
As we'd like to take the time right now, the Class of 2017 Advisory Board is having a Sweet Taco restaurant fundraiser. Benefiting all proceeds go to the Class of 2017. Wednesday, October 1st, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at 4001 Welsh Road, Willow Grove, PA, 19090. Come out and support the Class of 2017.
Sweet tacos, huh?
The restaurant, I was looking on the website, it's more of the spicy, it's sweet.
I think we need to have a Taco Tuesday. That's my opinion. Hatboro-Horsham trying to get the ball out of trouble again. Okay, ball is being cleared. So Hatboro-Horsham catching a break there because it looked like Souderton was getting in position to do some more damage. Able to clear this one out. They'll get a throw in on this.
So far, Souderton shots, 2 have been from the corner. Not bad. But when you look outside the rectangle, there's a huge cluster of shots where 2 of the goals have come tonight from senior Danny Sullivan.
Yep.
Already, he's
right
been
in the middle
attacking.
where he's supposed to be, too. He's in position, and they're setting him up for that. A lot of great assists going on, too, which, that's part of soccer that you don't always get credit for, but, somebody's got to set these guys up. Souderton seems to be dialed in here early, and just under 29 minutes left to go in the period as the clock continues to run, but Hatboro-Horsham already find themselves in a 2-goal hole.
Yeah, talking about assists. Speaking of assists for the Hatters, 2 assists for Justin Paluzik, 2 for Corey Mawiski, Sean Thomas, Alex Hoffman, Dante DiLanzo, Kyle Nemeth, and Walter Romero also have 1. Assists is the name of the game.
Sure.
So
Souderton able to clear this one out too, and nobody there to attack for Hatboro-Horsham. They get the ball down there finally, and just the guys are way back. You can tell by looking at the monitor right now. They're still far back. There's not a lot of attack right now in the Hatters. Maybe they're waiting, maybe they're seeing it out, maybe they're playing the patience game. As Chandler Ryan gets mixed up in it a little bit, and the ball's going to come back Hatters' way.
Yeah, considering, both of these teams, they're average teams, and unfortunately Hatboro-Horsham has not been playing to expectations, while Souderton up there in second place in the Continental Division, behind 6-1 in the conference, North Penn, and then undefeated CB East. So
yeah, CB East putting on quite a display this year. 7-0 is what is their record. They're on top of the division. And Hatters down there tied for 5th, 6th, depending on what you want to call it. And Souderton up at 3rd place. So Hatboro-Horsham looking to make a noise and not able to get a chance on that one. So it was Romero kicking that one in and looking for some help, trying to get the assist, and just they got clogged up near the goal.
For the first time, Hatters have a shot. But
yeah, they did. But yeah. All for naught.
Nonetheless, we still have 27-15 left here in the first half of play. So
Chandler Ryan handling it in the middle.
Looking at both teams already, it looks like Souderton, they're trying to make Hatboro-Horsham tired because they're constantly moving the ball around and they're making great ball movement. So a lot of communication, as you can hear on the field mics.
Yeah, good sound being picked up too, and a lot of that comes from the goalkeeper. They're really kind of like the captain steering down there. And that's one thing they look for is just the amount of communication from them, what they can call and what they need to say. Picked up by our goalkeeper, Mr. Doney. He's going to clear this one out of there and look for some passing help in the middle, and it's off the head of number 28, Mr. Mike Surs, a senior for the Hatters. And getting mixed up in the chatter there in the middle.
Looks like a yellow card.
Yeah. Early for one of those.
Looking at the JV game, one of the Souderton players was red carded.
Really?
For shouting profanities at the ref.
There you go. That'll do it every time. Red card, of course, means you're done for the day.
So obviously the refs are taking this very seriously.
Sure.
As on the other side of the field tonight, I was coming in and the refs are holding their soccer ref meeting tonight, and the opposite stands are all filled with PIAA Suburban 1 League referees.
Oh, so they're on display too then. You got to make sure you're calling what you need to call. Souderton looking to make some action here, and Hatboro-Horsham able to clog them up a little bit, but Souderton makes control here in the middle of the field. And that's number 10, Eddie Romero, causing a little damage here, going in a 1-on-2 situation. Chandler Ryan looking there. He's now there. Gets it mixed up, and Romero not able to get to the pass in time, and Souderton's going to be able to clear.
Looks like Romero almost gave up just based on his facial expression.
Well, it looked like Ryan's pass was a little bit ahead of him, and I think Romero, not realizing it was going to come down that fast, that hard, pulled up short before the pass got there, and I think that's what happened on his face, because he realized he had an opportunity. Because it could have been a 2-on-2 and a great situation for the Hatters, but just another missed opportunity for them.
And it looks like we have an injury for Souderton. Number 10, Danny Sullivan.
And that's the 2-goal scorer right there, so something going wrong with the Sullivan, and Sullivan being the guy in the middle who's been scoring both these goals. That'll be an interesting one to watch. Now, you talk about the injury bug. You already have your 2 captains out, and the guy who already has 2 goals on the board goes out too. That's going to be an interesting situation. We'll see who they bring in for him.
It looked like he was holding his stomach there for a second. Although I can't really tell. He does look fine. Looks like he is going to take a break, get some water in him and relax and hopefully come back into this game.
Good dribbling right now by the Souderton Indians, able to move some stuff out. But good stave by Doney, and it always makes you nervous. That one guy, you go down on that one knee, and you just hope that he doesn't miss the easy grounder, and it goes right past him into the goal. But Doney comes up for us again with another save. 2-0 Souderton at this time. Hatboro-Horsham looking to make a little bit of noise, and Romero was trying to get it past the goalie, and what a move, and he would have had it.
Yeah, looking at soccer, if you're charging up a goalie, trying to get that ball, one of the things you really got to worry about is if that ball hits you square in the face, you can easily get hurt.
Connor Wilkinson into the game. He's been in for a little while now. I've seen number 19 down there on the field, and he was involved in that one. He's the one who gave the pass over to Romero. Back to mid, and Hatters maintain control, looking for a little bit lanes, a break on the goal, and the Indians are going to handle that one.
Looks like Romero on the other opportunity, he kind of gave up on it for the 3rd time. I don't know whether, I missed the pass or, I just wasn't going to go get it. But
Ryan into Romero again. We'll see what he does with this one, Bill. Able to scoop it back out of the corner, but no help in the middle for Romero. Good opportunity saved on the Hatters by number 20, Balu Patel.
Yeah, Balu Patel, earlier in the JV game, he took a ball off the ankle, and then eventually he got his feet crossed up with Souderton, and he rolled his right ankle. Looks like he's okay enough to play in the varsity game now.
So the Hatters going to the bench a couple times here, changing up their starters, trying to change the chemistry on the field tonight. Hatters continue to try to keep up the pressure. Souderton maintains control again. About 23 minutes left to go in the first period as the ball gets moved around. Chandler Ryan looking for some help, through some lanes. And going down for the Hatters.
Looking at the average.
Deep. And Souderton again able to pick that one up before any damage can be done. Just not a lot of scoring opportunities right now for the Hatters. They're getting the ball down there, but just can't capitalize, can't get any guys deep in the box or near the goal at all.
Looking at the average possession time for both teams, we still have about 22 minutes left, but it's mainly been dominated by Souderton, who already has 7 minutes, 32 seconds of possession time.
No kidding. That's a pretty good number if you're you're a betting man. You keep it that long, something good is going to happen. Ball goes deep down into Hatters territory. Souderton looking for some help there. But good defensive pressure by Hatboro-Horsham. Can they get the ball out of there and escape? Nope, 16 for Souderton. Put the pressure right back on. Great interruption for the Hatters by number 2. And that's Corey Maluski. Able to block that one, which it looked like that was going to be a clean goal opportunity, but Maluski steps right in front of the kick and able to block that one to save the goalkeeper the trouble.
Taking the corner for the Souderton Indians, senior midfielder number 17, Justin Molyneux.
All right, there's our French last name again. Is he in for Sullivan?
Molyneux was actually a senior starter.
Okay, but now Sullivan back in the game. We haven't identified him yet. Sullivan's the guy who keeps scoring all the goals as Souderton looks to kick this one in. A lot of traffic down low. Looking for the header. Souderton's still alive. Looking for a clean shot. Not able to get it.
Sullivan is not in yet.
So Hatboro-Horsham, again, able to disrupt any kind of play down low. Getting a bunch of guys in the box. And Souderton not able to come up with anything there. So a throw-in now by the Indians. And again, another opportunity coming. We're going to kick this one in. Look to the middle of your screen. See the passing lanes. See what you're looking for. Break on the goal. Goalkeeper comes out. Can they clear it? Souderton's still alive. No goalkeeper in position. Chandler Ryan with a great save in the goal. Number 4, Chandler Ryan for your Hatters. Able to pick up where the goalkeeper left off. Nice save there. So Doney comes out to try to put a little bit of pressure on. Falls down. Chandler Ryan with a great assist in goal. Able to block that one. So Doney back on his feet with a good save. And saves another Souderton goal. Just a nice little exchange there by your Hatboro-Horsham Hatters.
Yeah, it was an incredible play by Chandler Ryan. Great heads-up play. You know, you got to look for that because the Hatters, they can't afford to let up any more goals.
Right.
The more goals they let up, the more down they're going to be, and it's going to be harder to get back.
Nice quick identification by Chandler Ryan. So Souderton looking for another opportunity here. Hatboro-Horsham has to do it again. This is 3 in a row now.
Molyneux for the corner for the Indians.
Goes out to the top. Looking to set it up. And Hatboro-Horsham able to stop that one as well. Now they're starting to dial in. Corey Maluski gets to the top, able to break that one up. And Hatboro-Horsham now starts their charge. But again, the Indians right there to stop it. Just can't capitalize on that momentum yet. You're Coach McGrath trying to get his troops fired up over there, saying, come on, let's do it. Get it up. 18 minutes left to go in this one, and just trying to get something going for the Hatters.
You know, sitting on the field bikes, I can hear Stephen Doney way above the Souderton goalie, because the Souderton goalie, he really hasn't had to say much because he really hasn't had
He hasn't
much
had
to
a
do.
lot of action down there. His guys have been taking care of him down there and clearing it before it even gets to him. You know, we have 1-2 shots on goal, if that.
As we look
and
at
they're really
the-
not, intense shots on goal. They just kind of floated by. Now, that's a shot on goal. Clears that one out too.
You know, talking to the Souderton coach, he said, although we have been plagued by injuries, we really do have high spirits, and they have shown they can play good games, especially in that last game for Souderton, which was a 2-1 loss against North Penn. Last game was September 20th away at CB East. CB East undefeated so far.
Sitting on top of the division. And as we look for Hatboro-Horsham trying to make a scoring run here, they get this one deep. And Souderton can clear. Hatboro-Horsham gets it back.
Possession time still with 17 minutes left. Looking at the averages right now, if I can do a little bit of mental math.
Hatboro-Horsham looking to maintain control here, right back to midfield now. Souderton looking to, they are capitalizing the control now, and they are making their lanes, and here they come. Here come the Indians.
So far, the average possession time for Hatboro-Horsham has been a little under a minute, roughly 54 seconds per possession. But total, they've had 9 minutes.
17 minutes and 16 seconds left to go right now.
The remaining time has been for the Indians, and the Indians averaging just over a minute 15 seconds with every possession.
So Souderton right now Wow, they called that one clean. Could have easily called that one a tackle. And that one's going to come out of bounds. So while we have a quick break here, just tell you about today's game brought to you by Horizon Services, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. Also by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. They are Fast Signs. We're really happy to have them on board with all of our HHTV broadcasts for the year and giving you the scoreboard that you see on top of your screen as the Hatters throw it in. David McDonough into the game, another senior for Souderton. You see him there on the bottom of your screen. Really giving some hustle into them right now, and there's McDonough. McDonough falls, though. I guess they're going to say he's tripped. So McDonough, they're going to say he tripped, or he fell, or was pushed. Either way, Souderton maintains possession right from the spot. So it is, say it again, number 17.
17?
Say the last name, I love it. Molyneux.
Molyneux. I look for a
Molyneux
second.
kicks it in, and Souderton not able to capitalize on that one. So Hatboro-Horsham now looking to clear it as all the traffic returns to midfield.
Looking so far at the stats, really, Souderton has had 2 goals, but the 10 shots that they've had far outnumber the 2 quality shots that Hatboro-Horsham has had. Hatboro-Horsham has made those shots on rush, not really getting anywhere, but looking at possession times, Hatboro-Horsham 10 minutes of possession, while the remaining time, Souderton.
Oh,
As that shot goes
shot
way
wide, yeah. Shot wide, but Mr. Doney is in position to handle that one. So 2-0, again, have not had anything happen really for almost 30 minutes here. Everything happened really, really early in the first period, and it's been 2-0 ever since. Souderton on top.
That is high and as far, and it is cleared.
Pretty decent crowd on hand tonight for the Hatters, and looking out beneath the press box here, you see a few. I'm going to say about 200 people in attendance tonight, watching the Hatters, and still coming out to support them on a beautiful autumn night. Had a heck of a sunset there at the end of the night, and Hatters faithful there. Hatters faithful looking for a penalty there, as Hatters player getting caught up there, and they are going to call it. And it was number 8 for the Hatters. It was Dante D'Alonzo, and he was getting hung up there as he was trying to progress, and so they are going to give a penalty kick opportunity to the Hatters. To take that kick will be number 2. Corey Maluski. Let's see what he can do with it as the Hatters try to set up their wall. Maluski with the kick. And right over top. You're right, Phil. Bill's putting up the hands as a field goal here. If we were Friday nights right now, we would have a field goal. But yeah, a little bit too high for our standards tonight.
If only the Hatters football team, just
could have shanked that one. 3 points we'd have for the Hatters football team on that one.
Looking at this team, the kick, it brought down maybe 5-6 feet.
Sure.
It would have been 2-1 game, but no, it's still 2-0, 13:04 left here in the first half of play.
All right, Hatboro-Horsham looking to pick up the intensity here with under 13 minutes left to go, and definitely playing with a little bit more of a vigor here in the last part of the period than they did when they started out. And that slow start, Bill, I'm going to say it, I think that slow start is really what led to a few of those goals. They just looked slow when they started out. They just weren't getting in position. Souderton able to capitalize. The same guy, same position, scoring both goals tells you quite a bit. Throw in now for Souderton.
Yes,
McDonough lets that one go out of bounds.
Speaking earlier, Danny Sullivan, we didn't see him in the game. He was out with an injury. As he does come back in, he is the goal scorer for the Indians. This is a game of adjustments. Hatters started off slow and sluggish, maybe just getting warmed up, or, I don't know, trying to play conservative, see where they need to come back. But they really haven't given up anything so far yet, and, there's still 10 minutes left in the first half here. 2-0. The Indians are leading. But possession times, it's still Souderton, and Souderton.
Yeah. Chandler Ryan able to try to get this one towards the goal. And Chandler Ryan's been in since the very beginning of the game when one of the Hatters players went out, and that was it. He's been in ever since.
Looking at the 14 shots that Souderton's had, they've gotten 2 in goal, and they both came at the same spot, right outside the big yellow rectangle you can see from about the 9.5 yard line to the end zone.
Right.
And they were all within about a yard or 2 of each other. Not sure if they're going to go back there for the second half.
See who they have there. I mean, if they could put Sullivan back in, he's deadly from there. He's like a marksman from there.
Yeah, Sullivan is back in, so maybe they should get the ball pass to him if he's open and, exploit that right side for Doney.
So the Hatters looking to clear this one out of there with almost under 10 minutes left to go in the period. McDonough for Souderton.
Ooh.
Really flying around the field, and he's right back up. Athletic young man right there for the Indians.
Yeah, McDonough wearing the orange cleats. You can see him, it almost blends in now how fast he's going.
And chasing this one, it's going to be out of bounds.
Noticing the Souderton goalie wearing purple, and the Hatboro-Horsham goalie wearing green and black. Goalies usually wear the different colors to differentiate from players for people who are unfamiliar with soccer. But
I thought it was just a style thing.
no, it's sometimes I've seen soccer games in which people have worn like white pants and the team wore white pants, and they got confused and thought it was a player, and the refs called it. So,
so the Hatters not able to capitalize on the throw-in. Can't come up with any shot on goal. And Souderton, again, able to clear it with under 10 minutes left to go. 9:40 to be exact. So Hatters are going to let this one go out of bounds.
About the 43-yard line. So
you heard the call of save it, Kyle. That was for Kyle Nemeth. He lets that one go out of bounds. So it's going to be Souderton possession.
Throwing it in for the Indians. Number 6.
Decent throwing, but right to the Hatters. Decent if you're a Hatters fan.
Whistle will be blown. 9 minutes exactly left here in the first half of play. So, looking so far, Hatters really haven't had anything.
Not really nothing to report. I mean, shots on goal, what, about 4?
2.
2, okay.
Two that would count as actual shots
right,
according to PIAA standards. But 4 times where the goalie has had the block.
Gotcha.
But Souderton's had 14 shots tonight and scored on 2 of them. And they were both, number 10, Danny Sullivan, he has been the key to the game almost, Him, he is the one-man show.
Good hustle by Kevin Smith, number 11 for the Hatters on the far side of your screen, able to hustle that one down. They're looking at the clock. They know that they have about 8 minutes left to go before halftime to make something happen. Special treat for you in the second half of tonight's game. My daughter Julia, who is a soccer player, will be taking the microphone over. She'll be helping you call the second half, Bill.
All right, I'll be more than glad to welcome her into the HHTV crew and welcome her into the broadcasting
debut.
Community.
Ball high, but able to finally land that. Hatters looking to capitalize. Now Souderton looking to capitalize and just right in the middle, stalemate. But Souderton setting up the passing lanes. Hatboro-Horsham able to intercept that once. A lot of great footwork going on by number 8 for the Hatters, and that would be Dante DiLanzo. Nice job by him with there, getting the footwork. And Hatboro-Horsham looking to make something happen here before the end of the first period.
What I think, looking toward the second half, adjustments the Hatters need to make is they need to block that Souderton Indians offense. The offense, when you have a sealant, and they have that one little leak,
Yep.
and that one little leak gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep.
Well, the Hatters need to fix that seal. They need to double seal it, and they need to double cover a couple players, especially Danny Sullivan, as he made the 2 goals. Maybe get a
Shot
double
on
coverage
goal.
on them.
That was wide. No, you're right. They need a double seal. They actually, but the problem is, to use your same metaphor, A, I don't know if they have enough sealant. B, I think the rain is going to continue to come right now, if you're going to continue to use the leaking metaphor with the rain. But right now they're not finding an answer for either. But they have slowed it down. There has not been a goal in, again, the last 30 minutes or so. So they have been able to not stop the leak, but at least slow it down. But Souderton continues to apply the pressure. And the ball's now going to go out of bounds. So about 6 minutes left to go in the period. And Hatboro-Horsham able to get it down by the goal, but again, no help there at all. Only one player down. That's Kyle Nemeth. Is the only person even close to the goal. Can't really get control of it by himself, and nobody there to help him out to pass it to. No lanes to set up. So again, Hatboro-Horsham with not really giving themselves an opportunity right now.
Doing a little math, the first goal by Sullivan was scored with 5:45 into the period, then 7:57, and those two together, when you subtract the difference of time, 2 minutes and 12 seconds in between goals, which is pretty fast for any sport.
It was very rapid fire at that point, and that's what I mean. Like they put it on fast, and Hatboro-Horsham's kind of lackadaisical attitude in the beginning really come back to harm them. Souderton looking for one more exclamation point. Would love to go up 3-0 here heading into the half. Hatboro-Horsham able to put on some defense, and we'll see if they can clear it and get it out of there. Change momentum a little bit. Nice play by Delonzo in the middle, but getting a little rough, and the refs are going to let him know about it.
Now, thinking about it, you scored 2 goals within the 2 minute and 12-second period. That's pretty incredible.
There you go, right there. You see Dante Delonzo there in the middle of your field, and they are getting scrappy and they're trying to make things happen. But if you're going to go about it that way, then eventually the yellow cards are going to come out. So Hatboro-Horsham able to clear it and get it down to territory. But again, Souderton with it right back. Just not able to capitalize on it, Bill, right now. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the period. Kyle Nemeth over there trying to make something happen. The senior working hard on the other side of the field, top of your screen.
So far, if this makes sense, second half of the first half has been a very physical game. You see people slipping and sliding, doing, gymnastic moves, tripping over. It's a very physical game. Soccer is a very physically demanding game, as with any sport, Now
they're starting to move the ball more intensely. They are, but that shot not even close to the goal at that point, just kind of floated way above it. And Souderton will have an easy time clearing this one out now.
3:50 left here in the first half. 2-0 Indians. Ball will go out. Souderton will regain possession.
So the Hatters, Delonzo in the middle again, getting the head in there, getting physical. Refs letting him go. Souderton setting something up here with Delonzo out of position. And Souderton kicks it too wide to try to set anything up.
Nope.
And you can hear the players on our field, Mike, right there.
Tell the dive.
You actually hear the players talking them out right now with 3:06 left to go in the half. And a kick in to midfield. It's volleying back and forth right now. Kick straight up. Hatboro-Horsham trying to make it happen. Souderton's going to come and block it again. So back and forth action, but predominantly right around midfield is where we're spending a lot of time calling the action tonight. Souderton able to spend more time down in the box. 2 goals, and just to reset things here with about 2.5 left to go in the period. Hatboro-Horsham not able to get the ball really in scoring territory much at all tonight with only 2 legitimate shots on goal. They are down 2-0 or 2-0 here in the first period. And Souderton will get control of the ball, and just about 2 minutes left to go in the period. And we'll see if they can apply more pressure and try to get another goal here before the half. Nice soft setup by Souderton. Looking to come to the right side of the field, bottom of your screen. Make a lane or two. Setting it up. Hatboro-Horsham coming back as defense. Cross kick missed by Souderton. Otherwise, it could have been a very pretty goal setup. But they missed that opportunity. And this time the refs are going to call.
So far, with a little over a minute left, looking at the numbers that I've calculated, so far the Hatters 37 seconds per possession. Not really doing anything else. And total possession time as of right now is going to be 15-10. But
wow, that's a very glaring stat. It's not a lot of possession at all.
And you look at Souderton, minute 15 per possession, which is crucial.
So deep kick by the Indians. Down low. Hatboro-Horsham has to get it out of there, and they do. Another stoppage on the field.
Less than a minute to go.
Trying to turn them, they're saying. Nemeth looking for some help down low. There's nobody in the middle of your field right now. You see exactly the problem. Nemeth has nobody to pass it to. He has two guys close to him, but nobody streaking down the middle to pass that ball to. There's DeLonzo, and he misses the pass. Just a little bit ahead of Nemeth. Nemeth can't get to it, just too far ahead of him. And Chandler Ryan looking for the quick throw in. Gets it over Romero. Romero with some nice dribble action, but nobody there to pass it to again. So 2-0 with 16 seconds left to go as far as the clock. And we'll see if Hatboro-Horsham can at least steal this, maybe get it back. Souderton taking their time. 7 seconds left. And that's going to be time. So 2-0 at the end of one. Your Hatboro-Horsham Hatters down 2-0 to the Souderton Indians. And we'll be back right after these messages with the second half action, a little bit of stat recap with Bill Rowland. So stay tuned. Hatboro-Horsham here on HHTV.
HHTV streams most live television events to the district website. To view the stream, click on the link located at the right-hand side of the homepage where you can find an event live stream schedule. Now you can tune in from anywhere on your computer and most mobile devices.
Ready.
All right. If you would like to watch any of these wonderful HHTV broadcasts again, you can always order a DVD. And we'd like to first tell you that today's game is brought to you by Horizon Services, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. And by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs.
With 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown.
Also like to tell you about some of the stats in tonight's game. Bill Rowland, our statistician, has been working extra hard tonight to tell you all about time of possession. That's really been the story so far, as a 2-0 lead by the Indians, and it was early that happened, and it has stayed throughout. So really nothing has changed from very early, and I'm talking like 36 minutes, I remember, with the one goal, and then the other one happening 34 minutes after that. So it's been one of those nights where it just goes. And here's the 2 goals right here, right up top. And you see Sullivan in the middle on one, and Sullivan was on the other one too. And you see him right there in the middle, and just great play and good saves there by Chandler Ryan. That was the one at the back of the goal. O'Donnell, this is where things really started to get a little bit more physical on there. But, where was that intensity in the beginning of the game, Bill? And that's really what you have to look for, is this kind of intensity that you saw there as we recap some of the first half. If Souderton and Hatboro-Horsham both playing with that intensity, then you would have had that kind of result. It could have been more of a stalemate. But now 2-0. Hatboro-Horsham really coming out slowly. Souderton taking it to them early, and again, 36 minutes was the one, 34 minutes for the other. That's not a lot of time in soccer terms, and you can pull off something that fast, then you have some talent. What'd you notice though in the first half?
Notice in the first half for Hatboro-Horsham, 42 seconds per possession. Not so good. And 17-25 overall. 2 shots that were noteworthy.
So 42 seconds of total.
42 seconds average possession.
Oh, average possession.
17-25 total.
Okay. So out of 40 minutes, they had the ball for 17-25.
And then if you look at Souderton, they scored a goal 5:45 in it, and then 7:57. Difference 2 minutes 12 seconds in between goals. They averaged minute 17 seconds per possession, almost doubling Hatboro-Horsham, and they had the ball 23 minutes 35 seconds.
Now, we will take a break in a little bit, but just things to look for in the second half obviously have to be the intensity that you saw at the end of the game when you're able to block those lanes for the Indians is really something that has to be more consistent throughout the second half, because not only do they have to overcome a 2-goal deficit to try to come back in this one, but they just have to, again, stop the bleeding, which is, I'm sure Souderton's looking at the same stuff we are, which is if they come out lackadaisical again, let's just take it to them and see what happens. So we will join you in about 5 minutes, and we'll come back with action here in the second half. Joining us in the broadcast booth, making her broadcast debut, none other than Julia Thomas, my lovely daughter, who will be joining Mr. Bill Rowland, and I will switch out with her and take a camera. So enjoy the action in the second half. We'll be right back after this.
The Hatboro-Horsham Television Network continues to be your source for Hatboro-Horsham School District information and events. HHTV produces a variety of programming that informs, educates, and entertains the Hatboro-Horsham community. Our News You Can Use show highlights events and student achievement in the school district. And each of our 7 primary principals speaks about their brand of education on the Principles of Learning talk show. And want to know what kind of instruction our students receive? Well, tune in to Celebration of Excellence, which focuses on innovation instruction by our teachers. Outlining our school district plans and goals is Superintendent Dr. Curtis Griffin in Talk Soup. HHTV also covers many sports events, concerts, and special events throughout the school year. A combination of students and staff power the engine behind HHTV that is available on Comcast, Verizon, YouTube, and our website. Most events are streamed live for your viewing convenience. HHTV, highlighting excellence in education.
I do. Oh, look, I can hear myself now.
HHTV streams most live television events to the district website. To view the stream, click on the link located at the right-hand side of the home page where you can find an event live stream schedule. Now you can tune in from anywhere on your computer and most mobile devices.
All right, welcome back to the halftime intermission. We are getting ready for the second half here at Hatter Stadium. I am joined up in the booth.
Julia Thomas, hi. So far, we have a 2-0 game, and the Hatters haven't put anything on the board. So we're hoping for a little bit of better luck here in the second quarter.
Looking at possession time, 23 minutes. 35 seconds. How crucial is that? Knowing that you're a soccer player, how crucial is that for a 40-minute, very physical game so far?
I don't know. It's a lot of pressure. I mean, you really gotta amp up your game, and hopefully we have a good defense to keep them out of their goal. But honestly, it's up to our offense right now to put some points on the board.
So far, what do you think of the Souderton offense? How they really in the first half, they dominated. They had a goal at 5:45, and they had scored a goal 2 minutes and 12 seconds later. What do you think of that as a domination effect for soccer?
I mean, they're definitely having a good game. But honestly, I feel like our defense can be doing a little bit of a better job. And, the more defense we have, the less we have to worry about Souderton. I know they definitely have been having a good game, though, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, looking at Stephen Dunn, he had to block 14 shots. 14 shots in the first half. Those are only the noteworthy shots. Souderton was attacking 95% of the time. That other 5% of the time, Hatter's measly attack. They only had 2 shots where the goalie really had to maneuver and make the shots. Other than that, there's only been 1 yellow card. Teams are going to continue to stay loose as the temperature starts dropping. So, what do you think so far? Looking at their last game, they lost against undefeated CB East and those really, really tough Patriots in a 2-1 overtime loss. Coming off of that game, what do you think that they need to look for so far?
I mean, I definitely know they have a lot of pressure going into this game, and honestly, I feel like if they play their best, we have a shot, but I mean, we're not looking so good with our past history here. I mean, really what we got to look for is we got to look for some definitely aggressive playing. I mean, that's all it is, really. When it comes down to it, I mean, our goalie's doing a good job at saving most of these shots, but it really comes up to some aggressive playing. And all right, here we go.
Less than a minute with intermission, so welcome aboard the HHTV broadcast crew. It's a wonderful time having you on. This is
thank you very much.
Julia Thomas. You go to Penridge High School?
I do.
Your football team really did whoop us. We covered Hatboro-Horsham opening night football Friday night under the lights. That was the first HHTV broadcast game of the season. The Penridge Rams stormed in and rammed the Hatboro-Horsham Hatters at home 35-6. Last week's game against Upper Moreland, 42-6 loss.
Yeah, that was a good game for us. I don't know, but we got our butts handed to us by North Penn last week, so that was good.
So last game on September 19th, home against the North Penn Knights. North Penn 2, Hatboro-Horsham 1. Tied game at halftime. Kevin McKenna broke up the tie to put North Penn up 1-0 about 20 minutes into the second half. Mike Kohler made it 2-0 about 10 minutes later. Hatboro-Horsham scored with about 6 to go to make it close. Then the last game on September 3rd, while we have the time, Souderton defeated Hatboro-Horsham 3-0. John O'Keefe, Nate Vero assisted to score a goal late in the opening half to send the Indians to intermission with a 1-0 lead. With 10 minutes in this contest, O'Keefe found the net for his second goal, this time using the assist from John Molyneux. And for good measure, David McDonough, number 9, added an insurance goal unassisted with 5:20 remaining. Souderton improved to 1-1 overall, 1-0 in SOL in the young seasons, while the Hatters fell to 0-2 and 0-1 overall in SOL Continental Division standings. Looking at your own team, Penridge, if we could bring up the Continental Division standings, Penridge 1-4-2, but Hatboro-Horsham, they're tied for 5th. 1-4-2, only 5 points. Looking at the Souderton team, 4-2-1, so far 13 points.
I don't know. After this game, I mean, it'll be good to see what the scores end up being. I know, as Penridge is going so far.
As we look up the standings, CB East 7-0-0.
Yep,
North Penn tied for first at 6-1. Souderton Indians 4-2-1. Soccer has 3 standings: win, loss, and tie. So 4th, CB West, the Bucks 3-3-1. CB South, the Titans 3-4-0. Hatboro-Horsham Hatters 1-4-2. The Penridge Rams 1-4-2, and the Quakertown Panthers not looking so mighty, sitting in the basement at 0-7-0.
Yeah, like you said, Hatboro-Horsham and Penridge are almost identical with their 2 different scores here. All right, well, let's see. We're kicking it off today in the middle of the field. Here we are.
Second half of play, PIAA field hockey now. Soccer. 40 minutes.
What sport is this?
This is boys varsity soccer. Pardon me for the mistake there. We have 40-minute halves with a 10-minute intermission.
All right, kicking off today, we have number 8 for the second half here. Dante Dalonzo.
All right, ball is being played about the 30-yard line. Hatters trying to make a move.
All right.
Hatters cleared into the Indians' territory. Hatters already making a run. Eduardo Romero already playing aggressive. Very fast pace. Looks like the Hatters, they got a drink in them. They got a breath in them. Hatters already storming down. And
yeah, they seem determined to take it back. I mean, honestly, we got some good aggressive playing here, and let's see if they can keep it up.
2-0, and today's game, as you can see, brought in the right-hand corner, is brought to you by Fast Signs. It's fast, it's signs, it's fast signs, with 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown. 39-15 left. Hatters already playing aggressive ball. Playing deep into Souderton as the header by the Indians, number 9, David McDonough. David McDonough, we were talking about him earlier. He scored the insurance goal for the Hatters, making it a 3-0 game. Going into the second half, this game is starting to really look a remnants of the first game. Except here, it's at home.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely, normally you have a home team advantage when you're playing at your own stadium, but I don't know what we're doing here today. I definitely am seeing some good possession by Hatters players. I mean, we have a lot of, they're definitely playing aggressively, which is something I said we definitely need in the second half if we're going to put anything on that board. So
primarily an older team. We have 11 seniors on the team, so we have the experience. Hatters trying to make a run for it, although they do not get anywhere. With this being a multi-purpose field, it's very difficult for sometimes the ball to be picked up, especially because it's a football, it's a field hockey, it's a lacrosse, it's a soccer. You name it, this field has been played. So we're looking at the outer yellow lines, as you can see in that camera angle shot. Orange is going to be used for field hockey, and then obviously the football end zones. This field is well used, especially for night games. So Hatboro-Horsham down 2-0 against the Souderton Indians here.
This field has seen a lot of action. Let's see if our goal... All right, well, is that our goal? No, that's our
Souderton is wearing the purple in goal, and Hatboro-Horsham, Stephen Doney, sophomore, he is wearing the green and black.
All right, they're keeping it right in the center, which is not necessarily want to do, so this is kind of interesting right now.
So far, both teams really haven't had a legitimate shot, although talking considerably where we were last time, Souderton already booked 5 shots. So, obviously, Hatters, I don't know where they're coming from, the mindset, but looking at it from an audience member, it shows that, they got a 10-minute break, they know where they made their mistakes, and they're coming back. With soccer, this is a very good game of adjustments, because you played. So
yeah, they're definitely playing more aggressively, but we still haven't seen many shots on goal for Hatboro-Horsham, and that's what's kind of worrying me here in the second half. That, I mean, we can play aggressively, but if we don't get it up by their goal, it doesn't really mean anything.
36-43 left. Hatters playing aggressive ball, aggressive defense. Goal kick and Stephen Doney. Stephen Doney, he's given up the 2 shots. If you look where those shots were, if he was standing on the right-hand side of the goal, on our side where the broadcast booth is, all those shots straight across into his left-hand side.
See, Souderton has a really good job at clearing it out of our goal anytime it gets close. So
aggressive play by the Hatters is number 8. DJ Rostron goes down, although he looks like he got up and he will be fine. Temperatures are starting to get a little chilly. Started the game about 67 degrees. Right now, I'd say probably 63, 62. It is starting to get a little chilly. You can feel it up here at the booth. Though it doesn't really look like it's affecting the players, although everybody in the audience, some shorts, mostly T-shirts and jeans.
Yeah, I'm sure they're feeling it. But down there on the field, they seem to be working up pretty good sweat, so it should be
great block by Doney. Hatters playing aggressive defense, taking that shot opportunity away from Souderton, and already they just missed 2 shots in a row.
And I see here number 9 is Colin Bateman. He's actually a freshman midfield starter, which is really impressive for a freshman to be starting on a varsity team.
Yeah, looking at comparing last week to the field hockey game, there was only 1 freshman that came into the game, and that was for an injury. Hatboro-Horsham primarily does have a lot of older athletes, but the athletes have the more experience, which really you do need.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a lot of good potential in these players, though, which is unfortunate that we're losing the game, but it does give me a little bit of hope for our future games, even though, I mean, we are kind of losing. But
You always got to be the optimist here. Thinking about it, the Hatboro-Horsham defense, last half, I wouldn't say it was quote-unquote asleep at the switch, but they sure were playing very conservatively. That shot goes wide.
So close.
Would be a good field goal, but that shot is clearly missed. Great save by Stephen Doney. As it is still 2-0 Indians. Third shot, and already we've had one shot on the corner of the rectangle as we have the instant replay.
you can see the anticipation and the frustration as it. All right. Well.
So
see, we
far
have a nice
for
wall
possession
build
wise,
up.
oh yeah, looks. I almost see a Christmas tree. Because you see the red and the white, Hatboro-Horsham's colors, red, white, and black.
We got a green
Souderton.
goalkeeper over there. Yeah.
So, looking for the second half, what do you think the Hatters need to do?
Honestly, I mean, like I said, aggressive playing, and honestly, I feel like we've been crowding a lot. And the thing with soccer is you want to create a lot of space between players so you can move the ball in strategic ways, but we've been really kind of crowding up in this last game, so I don't know. But definitely, like what you just saw with that goal kick over there, I mean, when it comes to playing with your team, I mean, it's good to have a good kind of communication and be able to feel out where the other players are on the field. And honestly, I feel like the way that we're playing right now, we're kind of bunching a little bit, which could be kind of detrimental when we're having a lot of people. The ball's moving fast, and you got to get where the ball is. And if you're not spread out enough, you can't really necessarily be there when the ball comes. So,
good use of vocabulary there. Detrimental.
Detrimental. It's a big word.
So Hatters, they picked it up at roughly the 19-yard line, and they cleared it back into Indians territory.
One thing we have been seeing with this game, though, is it's kind of like a game of volleyball. This ball keeps bouncing back and forth, and honestly, I haven't really seen much dribbling. It's more, heading and passing. And
Well, both teams are lifting the ball, and they're trying to clear it because both teams, they have that power. And I remember Eduardo Romero last year, he was actually on both the soccer and the football team and was the kicker for the football team when Brian Ehrlich went down with an injury. Brian Ehrlich is now is
number
graduate.
2 down. Oh, he's okay.
Brian Ehrlich was a graduating senior. He was the goalkeeper before Stephen Doney. Ehrlich was the kicker for the football team as well. Ehrlich was great kicking PATs, field goals. He was just an overall great football and soccer player, but he is missed as he went on to Lemoyne University. Souderton playing aggressive again. Souderton's coming up from behind. That is in
It's still in.
number
Keeping it in
17,
play.
Justin Molyneux.
You can see Hatters are really trying to get back in this game.
As you can hear on the field mic, Souderton goalie's really starting to talk it up now.
Oh. That'll be another penalty kick.
Looking at it from the last half stats, 42 seconds per possession for the Hatters. Already, even though it's early, they're averaging 52 seconds, which
Senior
not
Kyle
bad.
Nemec taking the penalty kick.
Let's see how Souderton's going to a line for it, but Kyle Nemeth, dead on he goes for it. Ooh, nice fake. Shot just goes wide. Hatters' first shot of the half. As the goal kick for Souderton in the purple and white. Ooh, that got some nice hook on it. Cleared to about the 45-yard line from the football standpoint. Ball's being played about midfield for the Hatters. Whistle will be blown. 30 minutes left.
That was a nice punt, but honestly, what you want to do, you don't want to kick the ball towards the center because that's where most of the cluster of players are. So you want to really go for the side lanes.
Thinking about it from the Hatters' perspective, offense, way to go. You've got one shot within 10 minutes of the game, which is better than what they had. One eligible shot, better than the 2 that they only had last half. However, Souderton offense, strong, and stronger.
You can really see the disappointment, though, in these players. I mean, they're working so hard, and to not have any points up on the board, it must be frustrating.
Now, thinking about this from, you got to think about it from the coach's perspective.
Oh, I'm
this
sure.
This is going the exact same way as the second game of the season. 3-0 victory by the Indians at Souderton. What's going to happen here? Hopefully Souderton doesn't tack on another 2 goals, because then you're really going to be down and out, and then your heads are going to be low, and you're like, oh, why bother? And then, you give up more goals, more defensive mistakes. Hey, it's 6-1 final. You usually don't see that in soccer, but 2-0 Indians.
We got another Hatters wall over here with a Souderton defender on the side, which is interesting.
Tyler Strzeski, the senior forward, behind. Good block by Doney.
Good job. All right.
Excellent block by Doney, as she has been lights out the last 37 minutes, 52 seconds.
Our goalie's really been working hard this game.
Stephen Doney, the sophomore, he had a lot of expectations coming up from Ehrlich departing and going off to college. Ehrlich was the brick wall. Ehrlich was 6'7".
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. That's almost touching the top of the goalpost.
And Stephen Doney, 5'7".
5'7", I mean, at this point, it's mostly about agility. Right? I mean, height's one thing, but honestly, if you can move to where the ball is and you can save it, I mean, we only have 2 points up on there, and the amount of shots they've taken, it could be a lot more. So
yeah, considering definitely, that height advantage, you lost a foot. So, you
a literal foot.
You can't have, the arm span, you can jump up, but, the problem is when you jump up, you got to come down, and that ball's there. You could roll an ankle, and boom, you just lost a goalie for 2 to 3 weeks. So, Hatters have been playing a little bit on the conservative side. 27-23 left here in the second half of play. I am joined in the booth by Julia
Thomas. Dave Thomas's daughter.
Mr. Thomas is the broadcasting, journalism, and freshman English teacher, and also the head of student council here at Hatboro-Horsham.
Yes, that's true, yeah.
Student council had their elections today. We are waiting the results. But Hatboro-Horsham football, both ways.
Soccer.
Both ways, football, soccer, either way. Both teams have been playing conservative.
Oh,
I was trying to make a run. Ooh!
Souderton goalkeeper came all the way out to the 20-yard line.
I am surprised about that. Usually
that's a risky chance you're taking there. I mean, honestly, with the amount of defenders he has, it's understandable. But we have a lot of offensive players that could have snuck right in there to be ready for that ball.
Thinking about that, you really don't see goalies move much farther unless,
outside of their box. Yeah, I know. I mean, they're technically allowed to go wherever they want on the field. It's just once they're outside of the box, they're not allowed to use their hands. So for him to run all the way out there, I don't know if he was trying to kick it out or what he was doing. But, I mean, if you see now, he's even out a little bit farther.
Yeah, you played soccer. The only time I ever played soccer was gym class. So
hey, that's some good times.
Gym class is always fun, but coming from the soccer player's perspective, you got to think about how much they've been running.
Oh, yeah. No, it's constant running. I mean, conditioning during practices, I mean, coaches normally have you running for half of the practice because it's a lot of running out on the field. I mean, you're constantly chasing that ball. And, I mean, one of the things that coaches try and teach as a strategic thing is for, players to stay in their positions. Defensive players stay back and offensive players stay forward, midfield, center, etc. But, honestly, when that ball's in play, you're running after it. I mean, the opportunity's there, and you got to take it no matter where it is. So
25-25 left. Maybe the Hatters can put something on the board and not get shut out. Hatters haven't been.
Souderton keeping it in play.
Souderton trying to make a run here. Number 10, senior Danny Sullivan. He scored the 2 girls earlier.
Nice. All right.
Nice block by the Hatters defense as
Number
Justin
2.
Molyneux comes up. Whistle will be blown. Looks like a sock and shin guard adjustment for Hatters number 19.
I like his cleats. He has some nice orange fluorescent cleats.
You know, all these Hatters defense, you know, they took a shot of espresso, or that ball is going to go wide and the whistle will be blown.
Let's see if that'll be a corner or that'll be a goal kick.
But it does look like the Hatters defense and offenses have both waking up, and they're starting to play a more productive game. Though we would have loved to see this much earlier in the game, and then instead of the second half.
Goal kick,
but,
Corey Maluski.
You know, it's just unfortunate that the Hatters couldn't get it off, and you know.
I mean, they are playing aggressively, but like I said, it's still a 0-2 game. We have nothing on the board, so it's as aggressively if they're playing, we have nothing to show for it. So let's hope that they can get some kind of points on this board before this game's out. We still have a good 24 minutes left in this game, so there's a good chance for, I mean, if we keep playing aggressively and we keep it by their goal, we'll see what happens.
Exactly, you know. Souderton, as we said earlier, Souderton gets a little stronger. Whatever hurts them, they're just getting stronger. And, you know, they really haven't been hurt.
They've kept up a really good, solid game, which is something you have to commend them for, even though we are losing. You have to commend them on the fact that they have been consistent this whole game. They're playing hard, they're playing aggressive, and they're keeping the ball where it's supposed to be for them. So, I mean, I can't blame them for having a 2-0 game. Yeah,
Souderton, you know, they were the favorites coming in here. I wouldn't say, you know, the Las Vegas polls, oh, who's going to win? Eagles, Redskins. No, it's not like that. They're the favorite.
They're number 3 in the league. So, I mean, honestly, it was kind of expected for this kind of score. I'm honestly kind of surprised that the score isn't higher against us, but it's a good thing that it's not.
So, basically, the Hatters right now, they've waked up and they've smelled the coffee, although the coffee really hasn't been working because they haven't scored yet. Hatters trying to make a run. Hatters don't do anything. Souderton defense kicks it back out.
After it. Oh, nice.
Hatters
clear by
kick it
number
back
14.
In. Sean Thomas, he was questionable to start today due to an injury, but he looks absolutely fine to me.
I don't know what kind of injury that was, but he was definitely playing his best. So.
Yeah, I know many of these kids because I went to elementary school with them, you know, summer camps, baseball. I've grown up with these kids all my life, and, you know, it's when you see them play and you see where they're coming from as Hatters get it back and Donnie will pick it up. You know, I've grown up with Sean Thomas since first grade, and one of the things that he's always done, he's always played through injuries. He's been the last person to say, well, Coach, I'm hurt today.
As an athlete, that's a great quality to have, and that's something when he goes to college that colleges look for. If he hopes to play in college, that's one good thing, that persistence and honestly...
Hatters making a run. Can the Hatters do it? No, they cannot. You know, Sean Thomas, he is a multi-sport kid. He does play baseball.
Does he really?
He does play baseball. I've played on his baseball team several times. He is an outstanding infielder, but soccer is his game. He does love soccer, you know. He's an avid Union and Manchester United fan, so. And then Stephen Doney, I've grown up with him. We were, you know, 5, 6 years old playing soccer in summer camp.
I'm more of a Liverpool fan myself, but honestly, if he's looking to go to college for soccer, he has a good thing going for him.
And, you know, a lot of these players, you know, talking about just have a little fun fact as, you know, Souderton takes it over again. You know, no players from either team have committed to college yet. So that's definitely an interesting fact, you know. Thinking about it, the Hatters really don't have anybody, you know, who's qualified, you know, say D1 Villanova soccer or
these
Harvard.
Games, honestly, I mean, another reason they have a lot of pressure on them. I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys might have scouts coming out to look at them for some of these games. So it could be a lot of pressure, not only that we have, you know, a losing score right now, we're not exactly top of the charts, but also that we might be playing, they might be playing for their college careers right now. So got to take all that into account.
Yeah, considering, you know, Souderton, if you could guess how many seniors they have, how many would you think that they have on the active roster?
Well, let's see here. We have senior Elliot Barbell, number 44. He's our forward.
For the Hatters, I can tell you it is above double digits.
It's above double digits. I'm trying to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
For the Souderton seniors, they have 15 for Souderton.
It's 15 for Souderton. Wow.
As we have Miss Julia Thomas is being amazed by the Hatboro-Horsham monster. We have a little bit of physical action on the replay.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Ooh, he goes down.
He goes down, but he gets right back up. And hopefully for Souderton, he adjusts himself there, but he's right back up. Let's see this play here.
Less than 20 to go.
That was a very good boot by number 11. Unfortunately, it did go out of bounds, but let's see what we got here.
So far, it's an AstroTurf field, so it's not going to hurt as much as grass, but when you do go down, it does hurt sometimes, especially, you get caught.
Grass is actually pretty soft, definitely when you're playing. I mean, these guys, they take a pounding, though, so, I mean, turf, grass, they're taking a pounding either way, and that's part of being
like playing
this
on
kind
foam,
of athlete.
right.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrestling.
Not
Wrestling's
playing
on
in a
foam.
padded bubble, no.
So less than 19 to go. Hatters and Souderton have really been locking horns this half. Hatters trying to make a run.
Nice
Ball is
clearing
deep.
here. And right back to our
Cleared by the
goalie.
goalie. Danny Sullivan's trying to make his
Keeping
third
it on
goal of the
line.
game. Maybe get a hat trick.
Oh!
Hatters make the run.
Come on,
Hatters
stay
take
with
possession.
it. No. Oh, wow, they're both down on that one.
And the Hatters fans are starting to get into it, which is the first time we've actually seen light from them.
We're hearing them, yeah. This is definitely an exciting point right here because it's a make it or break it kind of play for the Hatters. Wow, look how fast he's going. That's another thing you got to talk about
Ball
with
is
soccer
cleared
players.
again.
They are so fast. And like I said with the conditioning, when you're running in practice, I mean, sprints, and it really comes down to it. The faster you are in the field, the better advantage you have.
Totally agreed. I mean, you can't really say anything else other than speed, and Speedy Gonzalez
Back over
for
to
the
Thomas over
Souderton
here,
Indians.
and it's out. It was out on Souderton, so Thomas will take the throw-in. We have a substitution coming in. Timeout.
Looks like number 12 for the Indians. Nate Verso, junior midfielder, is coming out. And then for the Hatters, number 19.
Clear it out of there. Good job. Our defense is doing pretty good up there.
Aggressive play.
Good job.
Looks like it's going to be a corner.
That'll be a corner.
Or not. Looks like
Oh,
it's going to be a
no.
Hatters
Throw in. Oh, yeah, because it was out on Souderton. That's good.
Sean Thomas throwing it in for the Hatters. A little over 17 minutes left to go. So one of the things right now, not knowing, since you go to Penridge, you really haven't seen the Hatters soccer.
No,
What do
honestly,
you think so far compared to your Penridge team that's, tied for fifth?
I'm seeing a lot of the same trends, honestly. I mean, I've been to a couple of their games, and I mean, we have some aggressive players on both sides. I mean, Hatboro-Horsham and Penridge alike. But one thing you gotta take into consideration here is the teams that you're playing. I mean, when we played Souderton, it was around the same thing, and I forget what the score of that game was, but Souderton has been good all season, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw them rising up on that chart. Right now, we have Central Bucks East in first, with North Penn second, and then they're right there at third. So we're playing a really good team right now, so I'm not surprised at the score.
Great block by Stephen Doney, sophomore goalie. So right now, there hasn't been a shot for any team. Take a guess how long?
Oh, I'd say for most of this second half. I mean,
the last shot that was had by Souderton, first shot in 7 minutes 32 seconds.
you have a nice timer going here, don't you? Very exact.
Mental timer, because I don't play soccer, but I know well enough to see where the teams are averaging, and just by averaging it out, I can see where everybody's going. Hatters' average possession time in the first half was 47 seconds. Now, 32 seconds. And Souderton, 35 seconds. So both teams are giving it up early.
Oh, no.
Souderton trying to make a run. Souderton's shot goes wide.
Thank God. Honestly, I mean, our goalie put that ball into a very, very compromising position. Like I said, you got to keep it out of the middle, because as soon as you put it right back in the middle, you're putting it right back into Souderton's play. All right, we'll have a goal kick here by number 2. 15
to go. So far for the Hatters, they've kept everything out of the goal this second half. Souderton's trying to make a run. Souderton has a chance. Souderton doesn't have a chance now. First half, I wouldn't say it was boring. It certainly wasn't exciting. Unless you're an Indians fan who loves,
Well,
yay,
sure.
2 goals in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Oh, we haven't had anything in the past 30 minutes. Oh, that works.
Honestly, I feel like Souderton's fans they're sitting back and relaxing right now. I mean, I'm sure they're not expecting much from Hatboro-Horsham, and right now we're kind of worried to see what they'll do. Hopefully we can get, like I said, at least something on that board before this game is over.
Yeah, I mean, all the more reason because if you get shut out, you know how bad that looks to
Walking out of a game with 0 points on the board, I mean, that's not good. Being 0-2, I mean, honestly, when you leave the game with a no-score game, honestly, I feel like for our players it's discouraging, and then you wonder what the next game's going to be like, and it gives you kind of a stigma to have to keep up with for the next game.
Yeah, knowing it from a baseball perspective, one of the things that I remember was I was in a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
We lost. So
that's not okay.
No, it is not okay. And nothing hurts worse than we had one opportunity to actually have a chance to score and actually do something. You have the 3-0 count. And
is this a penalty?
I'm
pretty sure. Yeah, this is a.
We
penalty.
do have a stoppage of time.
Yeah, this was a penalty. I don't know what happened and where, but honestly, Souderton's in a really good position again. So.
And when you do get shut out, it hurts, and you definitely have a lot of game footage, especially tonight.
Oh yeah.
Bringing that up, we do sell DVDs. If you would like a DVD copy of tonight's game or any other HHTV event, go to the HHTV website at Hatboro-Horsham.org. Navigate to departments to find the HHTV webpage. Follow the HHTV menu to how to order a DVD. Folks, it's that simple.
It's good for grandparents and parents who want to, maybe they couldn't make it to their kids' games and they want to see what the action was like, even on a 0-2 kind of game.
And we are always live on the internet, and now introducing, you can watch us on your mobile device too.
There's an app for everything, isn't there?
You would definitely need to navigate to Mozilla Firefox or any other internet browser you can use on your phone. Navigate to the Hatboro-Horsham website. In the lower right-hand corner, it'll be the Watch HHTV live stream. You can watch a live stream on your computer with all the Hatboro-Horsham School District announcements. Many of our TV shows, including Hatboro-Horsham district-wide news you can use, Principles of Learning, and a host of many other shows, including HHTV's sports events. 13 minutes left here in the second half of play. Both teams still playing aggressive defense, averaging just a little over 40 seconds possession time, with no one really team having enough to say they've dominated the second half. Both teams have been very close, so we really do need to see something. Hatboro-Horsham has proven they're alive, and they're not just sitting there.
Yeah, they're kicking up their aggressiveness, but like I said, Souderton has been solid this whole game, so it's good to see that. I mean, we're at least not getting more points for them on the board, but it's kind of interesting to see the struggle. It's kind of meeting halfway, where you have the solid Souderton, and then you have Hatboro-Horsham, which is they're trying to amp up their game, but will it be enough?
Yeah, definitely. It's not say, oh, it's 7-0, let's go home and let's go cry. No, you guys are still in this. You still have 12 minutes to score. Souderton did it twice in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, 2 minutes, I mean, they could do it in 2 minutes. We could definitely do it in 12, but we'll see what happens.
They've had the shots. Well, considering Souderton's had 5 shots and Hatboro-Horsham's had 1.
Kicked it wide, right straight to the Souderton goalie.
So, the quality shots, is what I'm counting. Really, Hatboro-Horsham's had 3 good quality shots, and Souderton's had 14 in the first half. Now 6 now, 20 shots. They're 2 for 20. So they're really.
One thing you see with these varsity players is their handling is incredible. I mean, you have everything from headers to, they're kneeing the ball and all their handling. I mean, you do these things in practice and you juggle and you have to worry about possession and all this stuff, but they're really having a good ball control, and no matter what team you're talking about. That's another thing you got to look at with the varsity athletes.
As we see Chad Ziegler, he tries to go for the knee over the head, and he doesn't come up with it. Or whatever. What would you call that? You hit the ball off your knee and it goes over your head.
Well, that could be a rainbow. It depends what you're talking about.
Like, you're trying to get it back. Okay, I'm just going to call that a rainbow.
You can call it a knee. You can knee the ball.
You can call that a knee. We have the soccer aficionado, Julia Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just stick the stats and call it the game. 10 minutes, 45 seconds left. Souderton goal kicks it to about the 50-yard line.
Slides right out of bounds there.
Chandler Ryan. He came up with that really spectacular save earlier in the game. You know, that was when there was a lot of traffic and it just wasn't working out. Luckily, he saved it, or we would have been talking about a 3-0 game. So,
like I said, it could be worse. One thing you want to see with these throw-ins, if you watch how fast, I mean, the longer you take to throw it in, the more time the other team has to get into position. So, honestly, you see the ball keepers on the side with the ball boys, and they're throwing in the balls, and you definitely want to get it fast enough so that the other team doesn't have enough time to set up.
Yeah, 10 minutes exactly left. We've already played a half an hour. There's been a lot of physical play. Hatters trying to make a run. Number 12 for the Hatters.
Running up, no.
Kyle Nemeth. He doesn't come up with it. Hatters
he doesn't have any other
control.
offensive players up there with him. I mean, Souderton's defense is all over him.
Looks like we'll have an Indian down.
Oh, no. It's an injury for Souderton. Oh, he looks like he got the wind knocked out of him. Oh.
He's holding that lower
Yeah,
stomach.
looks like it hurts.
Hey, bring it in. Let's go.
As they're signaling for the training staff.
Not easy. Like we said, being a soccer player, you experience a lot of rough play, and there we have number 17 trying to check out and see if he's okay.
Yeah, sophomore
shoulder.
midfielder, number 20, Dylan Molyneux. He's the one that is injured, as the training staff here at Hatboro-Horsham is coming out.
Got the instant replay here. See him go down. Oh. So we missed him going down, but it doesn't look like he's okay here.
You know, we do have a very excellent training staff, as Mr. Steve Lipinski is working on that shoulder. You know,
that shoulder.
It looks like, you know, I wouldn't say it looks like a dislocation.
You may have a dislocated shoulder. I mean, you never know.
Definitely, he's definitely going to have a bruise on that shoulder.
He's definitely experiencing some pain, and it's unfortunate to see any player have to go through this, because this is definitely, I mean, people say soccer's easy, but it's a rough sport. It's a contact sport just like anything.
All right, they're checking to see his
Sitting
strength,
up.
and they're going to
They're
help
only
him up.
using one arm. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see a left shoulder injury here.
Yeah, Molyneux is going to come out of the game for precautionary purposes. Let's see who his substitution will be. You know, unfortunately, you know, Souderton has been bit by the injury bug. Senior midfielder number 18, who was not dressed tonight, Michael Barr, he's out with some kind of illness. Then Jesse Magnum, senior defender number 11, fractured metatarsal bone.
Interesting. I mean, not to say that he's not an important player, but they don't seem to be having any trouble during defense. All right, here's his injury. We have it. Oh, and you see him go down right on that shoulder. Yeah. It almost looks like his arm crossed right over his body, and he just landed on it. That could have easily ripped out of his socket.
Taking the kick in, number 21, senior defender Chad Ziegler. Little less than 9 minutes. The beautiful thing with having the field mic in soccer is you can verbally hear the game.
You can hear the fans when they're yelling at all of their players.
And you can hear the refs. You know, it's a lot easier to hear the refs. You know, when you watch, you know, professional games, you know, they have the field mics, and you can hear what the refs are saying penalty-wise. Whistles are blowing everywhere. We'll have 2 substitutions for the Hatters coming out of the...
Both number 14s are getting subbed out.
Number 4, Chandler Ryan, and number 14, Sean Thomas, are coming out. They're being replaced by number 5 and number 19 for the Hatters. Number 5, senior midfielder Tom McElrath. And then...
Oh, wow.
number 19 for the Hatters.
Let's get
Connor
right
Wilkinson.
back into the action. It's another thing with these subs is players got to be ready to go for anything.
Yeah, it's like the pinch hitter in baseball. You can easily see what the pitcher's throwing off the bench, but as soon as you come in, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You're right in the game.
It is up, and it is good for a field goal.
If only we were playing football.
And we see the training staff from our point of view working on sophomore midfielder for
another goal kick from number 2.
Yeah, sophomore midfielder Dylan Molyneux for the South
Corey Maluski took the...
It did look like he really did come out hard on that shoulder. Hopefully he doesn't need to go to the hospital, but if he does, hopefully it does work out. Maybe he's out, 3 games, with a bruised shoulder. If it's dislocated, you really don't want to see that because, then that means he's going to be out for a while.
He'll be out for the season probably. Let's hope his injuries aren't too bad.
Yeah, with any injury, you hope they're not bad because he's one of the key players who's really made Souderton a good team. A little less than 10 minutes. So, first time, the Hatters defense, really they've done anything outstandingly memorable where, it's enough to, how do you say, I don't know. They
don't know where you're going.
I was trying to go for the effect of, they've really put the brakes on, Talking about last week, the field hockey game, the Bucks and the Lady Hatters, they played a great game. It came down to the last minute. It was tied at 1.
I was here for that game. I remember that game.
Minute 26 and the score, and it just took all the wind out of their sails. I wouldn't say the wind has really been taken out of the sails for the Hatters, but it isn't at full strength.
Yeah, no, this is, it's a difficult game for us. And I see we're definitely putting up some effort, but, with 6 minutes left to go, well, a little bit more than 6 minutes, it'll be hard to see anything get put on here, but hopefully our goalie keeps his hands on there.
And blocked by Sir Stephen Doney there. So, we got less than 10 minutes, 6:30 exactly.
Our defense needs to keep it away from our goalie. That's one thing. I was a goalie for a little bit. I was mostly a center forward, but when I was a goalie, that was one thing. You rely on your defense to keep it away from you. Otherwise, we see what we saw with Souderton is
that ball will just barely go out. Hatters take possession. Hatters trying to make a good run. They got a good solid 6 minutes left to play. You would like to see them tie it up. If not tied up, at least put something on the board. But the Souderton Indians trying to take it. Great block by the Hatters defense. That shot will be missed. Looking at it, 25 shots. 2 have gone in for Souderton. Hatboro-Horsham, drumroll please, 3 shots. 3 shots. None have gone in. None have even came close to coming in.
They have good defense. They have a good goalie. And like I said, it was dangerously close with that one goalie. If we could have had a good offensive player right behind that goalie, that could have been a good shot. But our offense has been staying back, which is one thing you don't want to do.
It's good again, and a couple of fans do put up the
it's good
sign, and it'll be still a 2-0 game, 5 minutes left to go. So we don't want to start winding things down yet because anything is possible in 5 minutes. They scored 2 goals in 2 minutes and 12 seconds, so Souderton did it. We can do it. If we can't do it, no one can. As we put that metaphor out, Souderton.
If we can't do it, Souderton probably could.
Yeah, well, anybody could because this is really anybody's game. 4:40. So, Hatters offense, they have put the brakes on Souderton. The Indians have gone, whoa, okay, you're alive, you're well, you're not sitting there and letting us score on you.
Yeah, they seem to be. We're definitely putting up a good fight, like I said, and definitely not making it easy for Souderton, which is a good thing, but we're also not making it very easy for ourselves.
As the Hatter will go down, the Hatters are looking for the penalty. I don't know about you, but
he tripped. It wasn't much of a penalty there.
John O'Keefe, it almost looks like he pushed him just a little bit. Now he will get the whistle. 4 minutes left. Average possession time so far for the Hatboro-Horsham Hatters, 38 seconds. For the Souderton Indians, 52. Average possession time, pretty good. although it is significantly lower as of this point, but we still do have 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to play. I wouldn't really come into question saying, oh, Hatters offense, man, they were terrible tonight.
No, they're putting up a good fight.
They're, probably one of the better fights they have. These teams are equally matched. Talking to both coaches, looking from it as statistician's perspective, goal by Souderton as they take the 3-0 lead.
The disappointment in our goalie right there.
And they literally just buried the hatchet into Hatboro-Horsham.
And it's unfortunate. And like I said, the goalies rely on the defense. And if the defense isn't there, then it's hard. I mean, like you said, he's not exactly the tallest person in the world, so he can't cover the whole goal by himself.
Yeah, no, that's just a mistake, unfortunately, by Stephen Doney. 3-0 Indians as they pretty much just buried the hatchet in this game. 3 minutes, 26 left. Clock is stopped. Waiting for the kick by number 8 for the Hatters, Dante DiLanzo.
Hatters are just kind of hoping to play the rest of this game out. Maybe they can get something on the board, but at this point,
it's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
Goal scored by number 22, John O'Keefe.
John O'Keefe with that goal. Congratulations. He is, along with the Souderton Indians, in a very good position.
Hatters are angry. They are definitely, I've seen a lot of aggression now with this
looking
last
at this
goal.
Game, looking back at the first game of the season, 3-0 the final score, and they had that insurance goal, except that goal came with 5:26 left, and it was pretty much an insurance goal. So now you're looking at, you've been shut out against the same team twice.
One thing I'm noticing with our players is where you see Souderton, they hit the ball, they pass it, but they keep with it. One thing our players are doing, it looks like they're getting kind of tired because they'll pass the ball, but they stay where they are. And one thing in soccer is you got to follow the ball because you never know where it's going. And honestly, I feel like we would have had a lot more opportunities to score if we would have been up closer to that goal.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. You're a soccer player. You can call this better than anybody. But the Hatters have not been productive. Hatters trying to make a run here. Headed.
They have a very good goalie. I will give them that.
And that is only second shot of the half.
Hey, it's a shot. Doesn't matter if it's a second.
At
least it's a shot.
They have made momentum, but the problem is this. When you think about it, Hatboro-Horsham has been quiet as we do hear the crickets. That is the metaphor tonight. Crickets, 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 and more crickets. But Souderton, they have been charging and charging and charging as we have 1:30 left. Stephen Doney,
Souderton's going to walk away from this game happy, and hopefully in practice for our Hatters, we can see some progress. And maybe if they take a look back at this game and they watch the way they've been playing, they seem tired. And not to say that they're not good players, because all of them, obviously, they made the varsity team. They all have great potential, but you got to keep up the game. It doesn't matter if there's 2 minutes left or a minute left. It doesn't matter. You got to. That aggression that we saw in a little bit of the first part of this last half has been. You got to keep that up. And it comes one thing where you're an aggressive player, but you also have to be able to handle the ball. And we see both, but they're never doing it simultaneously.
Yeah,
so we have 50 seconds left.
So coming back to recap, Souderton defeated Hatboro-Horsham 3-0 in the second game of the season. John O'Keefe scored a goal late in the opening half to send the Indians to intermission with a 1-0 lead. With 10 minutes remaining in the contest, O'Keefe found the net for his second goal of the game. This time using assists from Justin Molyneux, and for good measure, David McDonough added an insurance goal unassisted with 5:20 remaining. However, the playout star in this game is number 10, Danny Sullivan Sr. He scored the two goals, I should rather say, and then John O'Keefe scored the insurance goal as we have 10 seconds left here. Souderton looks like they are going to take it 3-0. Same thing as the second game of the season. 3 seconds, 2,
1.
And that is going to be final.
There's our game.
3-0, Souderton takes it. Hatboro-Horsham goes to 1-5-2 overall in the conference. Souderton goes to 5-2-1. They pick up a couple more points. Your final score here, 3-0 Souderton Indians.
to be a sad, sad after game talk. All right, we got some sponsors coming up here.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Horizon Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Services, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. And by Fast Signs, more than fast, more than signs, with 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown. Well, that'll do it for tonight's game. The final score, the Souderton Indians burying the hatchet against Hatboro-Horsham 3-0. A special thanks to the HHTV production crew for a great production today. For everyone, I'm Bill Rowland alongside Julia Thomas. Good night from Hatter Stadium, and we will see you on our next broadcast.